Go second feel less when I know I deserve more. Every day from me vessel when me love you come up poor, you come up sad. Me sing again. If love's so nice, tell me why it hurts so bad. Badang. If love's so nice, tell me why I'm sad. I hear me sing. You say you love me and you care, but you never then here. You're always on the run. Now tell me this, why we can't spend no quality time? Kick back and just unwind. You always have something to do. That simple mean that love you not true, cause only when you want. Tell me why I'm sad. Me sing again. If love's so nice, tell me why it hurts so bad. Badang. If love's so nice, tell me why I'm sad again. Why if your nails fi do a me, bills fi pay a me, ear fi do a me, and you're making fun of me, and I'm the one with the J.O.B. So baby, why won't you give me some TLC? And there is rumors going around, say when I'm out of town, there is a man where I'm supposed to be. Too late to be begging on your knees, hand me my keys.
My love is a stepping up, my love is a stepping up. I know my love is stepping up. It's growing, this love inside of me. Oh, and it's showing, shining so bright. It's growing, this love of mine. Yes, and it's showing, just can't hide. So long we've been together, can't keep you to myself. Got to share you with another, got to share you with someone else. It's growing, this love inside of me. Oh, and it's showing, shining so bright. It's growing, I know this love of mine. Yes, it is showing, just can't hide. Come on, my brothers and sisters, let's not waste our time.
Oh yeah, hey, yes. Oh, hey. Yeah, baby dance, little more for me. Yeah. Oh yes, sir. I've been watching you across the room. Wish I could tell you how I feel. If I could get closer, a little bit closer, then I'd show you the deal is. All night I've been a
Oh yes, Monday evening, very hot, very hot. This is Rebel Radio coming to you live from our studios in the East. Yes, what a wonderful day it has been. Well, there are so much for us to talk about, but we want to commence our discussion this evening, by paying tribute to one of our colleagues, Miss Beverly Sinclair. Yes, one of us. She passed away over the weekend. Yes, man, very sad news. And we have with us another colleague, Mr. Garfield Angus. Garfield, how are you? Garfield.
Yes, sir. Happy to be on.
Yes.
Although this is a very sad occasion, but
yes,
here to share my.
Yes, we lost another giant from the group. But it is, as I have always said, the death, that is a road for us all, but it is still a road that is very difficult to acknowledge. because death is final. So, tell us about give us your recollection about Beverly.
Yes, well, I met her when she became my manager at the dance, and that was about mid 2021.
Yes.
Um, we started out trying to learn each other. It was a very important period for me personally, and so getting a new manager was very welcoming, but at the same time, you know, there was some caution,
Mm-hmm.
and she discovered that early, and she learned the environment very quickly,
Mm-hmm.
and so she spent time to, I think, to understand everyone, but I can only speak for myself. Where I know that I discovered that she was trying to know the person that I and so and very quickly the relationship became very respectful, and she had said that she could depend on me to carry out critical tasks
Yes.
and to assist her beyond the call of duty. She said those words. But I say I work with somebody who was quite innovative
Yes.
and would go beyond the norms. We talk about community outreach.
Yes.
She was
Yes.
very high on that. So it was not just to, while our core function at the JS is to highlight the government of Jamaica and its agencies, but she saw the importance of doing much more. And it was a process that came into being during the tenure of the former CEO, Donna Marie Rowe,
Yes.
where we really tried to impact communities. But Beverly Sinclair took it on with a much more energy.
What is
Yes,
going? Yeah.
yes, something is happening. But you're hearing me correctly.
Now I'm
Yes,
hearing you know.
yeah, man. So and I said, that is part of me too. So I was really happy to have a manager like that. But I said, we had somebody who was quite respectful, honest, and she was no chaperone.
Yes.
That never gave her hundreds of friends, critical friendship. But you have to be who you are, and at the end of the day, whatever you do, you have to be satisfied in your soul that what you did was something that can make you proud.
Right.
Yes.
So how long you work with her for?
I say it started, it came in about mid 2020, 2021, and she was there until the end of August 2022.
Hmm.
Yes.
Oh my.
Yeah. So the period of her leaving was almost like getting the news yesterday while I was covering the funeral service of the 8-year-old Daniel Rowe, who was brutally murdered a month or so ago.
Yes.
So persons were shedding tears when she had to leave,
Mm-hmm.
and at her passing is a devastation to many of us because we kept in touch. You know, I'm in the process of organizing a get together for a colleague of mine who's moving on,
Mm-hmm.
and she had something. She played a role in the development of that colleague too, a very young colleague.
Yeah.
And then so Beverly would have been part of that celebration. And then, she wasn't well, but while one should expect this just about any time, that part of us, there's a section of us that is not, I say, refuses to accept reality.
Mhm.
Well, that part was telling me that she would be around for some time. But that celebration won't take place because all of us are in mourning.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I met, I must say, I became acquainted with Bev in June.
yeah.
Yes. Um, as a matter of fact, I was trying to source some Caribbean personnel for a program,
Yeah.
and Calvin G. Brown
Yes.
made the connection with her for me,
Yes.
and we spoke. And she agreed that she would assist me to find the personnel. But about 2 weeks, this week would be the third week. So I called her, and she told me that she was sick,
Mm.
and she sounded pretty low, you
Yeah.
know. Um,
Yes.
I was taken aback because when we spoke first, she was bubbly and quite bright.
Yes.
Well, yesterday now, no, it was yesterday. It would have been Saturday. Saturday, I called her number,
Yes.
and a gentleman came on the phone, and began asking me some questions, and
Uh-huh.
I answered, and then he told me that Bev has passed. I was very, very shocked to hear,
Yes.
because although she told me that she was sick,
Mhm.
I was still, in my mind, I
Yes.
told myself that, okay, she's going to be okay. She's going to get well.
Yes.
But I can tell you, just by, speaking to her, I realized that she was a nice person.
Very much. Very stern, a stickler for discipline, but she was a human with a heart.
Yes.
As I read the comments coming from our colleagues in the Eastern Caribbean, because she was more known in that part of the world. 'Cause she's a Jamaican, but she spent most of her time in Grenada and some other Eastern
Yes,
Caribbean
yes.
countries. And
Yeah.
as I read the comments, he's a person that I got to know over here.
Mm.
And every now and then somebody giving a tale of how she was there for them through some difficult moments. This morning I saw a comment from a senior journalist here in Jamaica was saying that when they went to Grenada to work,
Yes.
she was the one who they had to rely on. So, and she was all about that, helping people in the profession, helping her staff. When as I said in a piece that I just wrote, during the heights of the COVID disruption, we were operating remotely. And so most of our communication were via the telephone or some electronic means.
Yes.
But, that's all the time you want to see your boss calling you.
Mm.
But there was never a moment, no matter what time of the day, when they've called, when I see them calling, there was any form of appreciation. They always welcome the call, because I know is even if it's about something that I'm going to be reprimanded for, but it done with so much grace that, at the end of the day, you have to be thankful for that. But in the midst of life, we always have this thing hanging over our heads, and we just have to be prepared. You never know when. So in life, we have to make the best of those we come in contact with.
Yes, sir.
Because they're here to be, and when you least expect, they're no longer with us, and I am quite, despite my sadness, despite the disruption that our passing is to me, I am happy that I met her and sat at her feet, got her attention, and could confide and rely on her. It is a really great moment in my 30 years in journalism, the one that I associate with the Valley Sinclair.
Yes, man.
Yes. Yeah.
Boy, it is, as I said, it is a road that it is very difficult for us to acknowledge, even when it is a road that we will have to walk on someday.
Yeah.
But you said you covered the youngster's funeral yesterday.
Yes, I did.
But based on what I am seeing, I saw in the traditional media and on social media, there was some disruption there, man.
Well, you see, it depends on how one looks at it. Now, most of that took place outside, you know.
Yes.
But I can't. There was a delay to the start of the funeral because they were trying to appease some disgruntled members of one of the deceased family. So there was some 40 minutes or so delay. But at no time the disruption really caused the commotion or pandemonium, as some call it, causing a disruption to the funeral. Apparently there was this person that wanted to give some expressions and they were not allowed. And
no, that's a child's mother.
No, it's not. Based on what I saw, it was the mother. It was some relative of the mother. I think she described herself as an apostle because she kept saying that she had a message to deliver.
Okay.
You know that thing that is used by the Maroons, that on thing?
Yes.
They're being. She had one and she used it. She used it quite a bit in the church and outside. And according to her, a confession was going to come. And she believed that they had some powers here to cause that confession. So, but she wanted to have the mic. She wanted to have the podium to deliver whatever it is she had to say.
Oh, and she was on the program?
No, she wasn't on the program. And then, but I know while we were waiting for the service to start, the officials took the family in a back room.
Yes.
And apparently when that whatever discussion took place, there wasn't satisfactory to her. And so, but I say most of that took place outside, so there was no disruption to the proceeding.
Okay. While that disruption was outside, the child's mother was inside the church.
Yes. I saw her where her head was down most of the time. So you see that she was under some distress. When I saw it, at the point that I saw her outside, some police members of the JFA were around her and they were giving her things to drink. And so I didn't get the impression that she was part of the apostles' protest.
Okay.
Because even at one point somebody was shouting out, "Don't crowd her." Yes. Don't crowd her because I needed to get fresh air and that kind of thing. Yeah, but I'm told by a community person that I know well that the apostle, as she describes herself, is a member of the mother, is a family member of the mother.
Yes.
But it is said that the planning of the funeral was done by not so much by the family, but external groups or individuals. So they largely determine how the program would be. Yes. So yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You know, when I saw it, I was saying to myself, "Boy, I wonder what is happening," because I couldn't understand that the funeral could be planned without the members of the family having an input, and that is how it came across. Because I thought she was the mother of the child.
No. But I will see this from time to time, you know. It's clear that you have two families. Those for the father and those for the mother.
Yes.
But my experience dealing with these things, even with families that are quote unquote together, at times individuals in the families dominate these things, and but the disagreement always settle at the home and not necessarily come to the service.
Yes.
But my gathering of it is that the funding for the funeral may have been done by some external group or organization.
Yes.
And that might have influenced larger what the program was. And then I'm told that the mother has not been herself since the death, so it could be that she wasn't able to determine to how others in the family would have been accommodated on the funeral. But the mother's family members, a lot of them were opposed to the father taking a part, but his name was on the program.
Oh.
Yeah, some of them exited the church in protest when he went up to speak.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I see.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
but one of the Garfield, I don't know what triggered that, but one of the critical things right now is that we would like, and I'm sure I'm speaking for a lot of Jamaicans, we would like the killer or killers to be brought to justice. And therefore, like all of us, I am saying, whoever has information about that dastardly murder, please hand it over to the police. Because, because the killer, as a matter of fact, the killer and killers should be in custody already. Yes.
Jamaica is such a small place. There's hardly anything that happened in this country that people don't know. And when something like this could happen, and our killers are still out there at large, and we go to our beds, we move around, and are very comfortable knowing something dastardly happened, and we don't have to nab these criminals. But they're criminals. Now, when you protect criminals like these, whether they be your friends or your relatives, it is a matter of time when you will be a victim of them, or from them. And for them to even think of giving a hurt to a child, you have something to settle with the adults, and the adults. I'm not even suggesting that any form of legal action anyone at all, but I'm just saying that there's nothing could justify a child being attacked in that manner. Or in any manner at all.
No, sir.
Yes.
No.
And I say, it's a shame. It is a shame on community people who know something and they're not talking because you're protecting your friend or your relative.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Total.
And, yes.
No, man, that is total wrong. Well, I want to thank you very much for sharing your views with us.
Yeah, man, and thanks for having me to speak of my former manager and my friend and mentor.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, and take care.
One love, Garfield.
Yes, yeah, man, cool.
Yes. Yes, that was Garfield Angus, journalist, paying tribute to one of our colleagues, Bev Sinclair, who passed away over the weekend. It's we lost another giant. Yes, man. Really something that, we can't, no, it is just something that is very, very bad. Very, very bad for us. But we have to continue. We have to continue the life. And we at Rebel Radio want to wish, our family, friends and associates of a diplomat who they are sending to posting to Jamaica. Now, everybody in Jamaica is aware that homosexual activities is illegal in Jamaica. So same-sex marriage is something that it is not legal. And therefore, I just can't see how the United States expect us, the Jamaican government, to breach its own laws in order to accommodate their desires. No, this is out of order. Totally out of order. How can the Jamaican government, could we, as a matter of fact, the Jamaican government, I don't think the Jamaican government would even think of asking the US government to do that, because they know that would be presumptuous. But you see, this is how the world runs, The big countries, the powerful countries, America, England, France, Germany, Russia, China, those are the countries that run the world. A lot of people might not agree with that, but when it comes on to how the world is directed, those are the countries who make the decisions, right? And therefore, what our superpower neighbor is asking us to do, it's okay, that is your law, but we want to send our diplomats here. And we want you to breach your law to accept him. No, this is out of order, totally out of order. The Jamaican government has rejected the offer, not the offer, the request. And I know that they will find a way to punish us, because that is how the big countries operate. Small countries must obey, and if they don't, they use their powers and their reach to punish us. Yes, but it is just totally unacceptable. Let us go for a break. This is Rebel Radio. Yes, welcome back to Rebel Radio. I'm Desmond Richards. Yes, as I was saying a while ago that, the Americans using their power and influence will punish us for rejecting their request to accept the homosexual partner of one of their diplomats who they are about to send to Jamaica. Valentine, how are you doing?
I'm very good, sir.
Yes. Glad to hear that. And I know
Yes.
that you are keeping abreast of what is happening, and you would have seen that there is a row between Jamaica and America. After the Americans requested us, the government, to accept the partner of one of their diplomats. And same-sex relationship is illegal in Jamaica. Our laws is against homosexuality. But
Right.
and against that background, I just can't understand how the Americans would just expect the Jamaican government to breach its own law in order to accommodate their wishes. You understand that?
I'm trying to figure out why.
Yes.
The bullying days are over now.
I would have thought so.
I think bullying days should be over,
Yes.
But they cannot do it to Israel. So Israel having a problem here with the court thing.
Yes.
They cannot tell them what to do. So why should they be telling Jamaicans what to do?
Yes.
To break their law? That is not right.
No, that is out of order, man.
And the country should stand firm with the Prime Minister on this issue.
Yes. Yes, I think
And
so.
make another noise about it.
Yes.
They should demonstrate. Go to the embassy and demonstrate against it.
Yes.
Against it. The people should go there.
Yes.
Why you are encouraging us to break our law to suit you?
Yes. You think we could ever ask the You think we could ever ask the Americans to do that?
No way. We are asking them to assist us with the gun that coming down here and thing. And what they are doing, they're dragging their feet.
No, they are not. Remember,
Right.
the firearms industry is an industry in the United States,
Right. Yes.
So they are not going to. I don't expect America to disrupt their industry to suit another country. I don't think they are going to do that.
They're not even doing it for help the people that are getting killed
Yes.
by the firearm. Their own people.
Yes, they're not
Right?
doing that.
They're not doing that.
Yes. Look at,
So
for example, last week they shot a politician, a councillor, was murdered. He is to the best of my recollection, he is the 9th politician to be shot in Jamaica since between the 70s and now. Seven of whom were killed. But one of the things I can remember, in the United States, remember, Brady was shot. And this is
along with
when they attempted
with Reagan.
Yes, when they attempted
That was Reagan. Yes.
Yeah. You will also recall the shooting at a club where some politicians were involved in. I think they were playing games.
Baseball, yes.
Yes.
And a congressman was shot.
Yes.
And also Gabby, Gifford, she was The Congress lady there.
Yes.
Her husband is a senator who the astronaut died there.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
She was shot too.
Right.
Well, they don't do nothing.
No, and I don't see the American government do any take any stringent measures to adjust their firearms laws. No, I don't. They haven't done that. To bear arms is a right in the United States, and as far as I know, it's not just one gun. You can have a arsenal of guns.
Yes.
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 Yes. But Williams, you know something that I would like to ask you. You reside in the United States. Now, I get the impression that the laws governing firearms, it is administered differently when it comes on to blacks. In other words, I get the impression that the whites can own any amount of guns they want. But is it the same for blacks?
No, it's different. When blacks, it's you have to own a club or something to have more than a lot of guns.
Yes.
But whenever blacks go, they're very suspicious. Hawk.
Yes. Okay.
You know, it's very hard for a private citizen to get a pistol license.
You mean
in New York?
You mean
in New York?
You mean if you're a black person?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
They discriminate. They discriminate against you.
Mm.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
You know.
Boy, I can tell you.
They have a guy. You have a white guy. Was arrested a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Mass murderer. He's a mass murderer. He killed a lot of prostitutes. And when they search, he's a big engineer guy. I don't know if you hear about the story. When they search his house, they found he have over 90 weapons there, licensed. All different type of guns.
90?
90 licenses. He have license for 90 guns. I don't hear no private black man have a license for 2.
Yes. So what
one
person
you have to be in the security force. You have to be in the security force or the military, the police, or the prison guard them warder. If you are black, you can get it easily if you are that. But private citizen like myself, I'm not going to get. They're not going to give me 90 permit for guns.
Yes.
FBI, everybody will rush me and.
Yes. No, so there's a double standard. And
what they think, they are very scared. They are very scared of the black.
Yes.
Scared.
And even with the number of, because one of the things that I observed since this year, that there has been a lot of mass shootings, right? You observe that, Valentine? We seems to have lost him. Yes. I have to, let me try and reconnect with Valentine. Yes. Let me try. Yes. I lost. Yeah,
yes, we have a shot, a glitch.
Yeah, we lost you a while ago. Yes.
Yes.
I was saying that One of the things that I observed since the start of the year, that mass shootings in the United States has gone up.
Yes, yes, very much,
And,
very much.
and to date, not one of the perpetrator is a black man. Is mostly white people.
Yes,
Yes.
and they characterize those people as insane,
Yes.
insane. But when a black, they shoot. Oh, animal is this is, it's an animal and it's dangerous and what, and you got to do something about it, and
Yes.
But when a different race, oh, they're sick.
Okay.
They're sick. Yes.
Yeah.
So you can see you can see the racist part of it. They're trying, if even in Florida now, the school, the curriculum on the Black history, they're trying to change the history of black, saying uh, black gains from slavery. They learn trades and stuff, a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That
is why they are trying to teach.
Yes.
They're not talking
They cannot teach them about Rosewood. They cannot teach them about the fact of slavery, especially in Florida.
Yeah.
What happened there? Mm-hmm. They cannot teach them that. The teacher will be fired by the governor. Mm-hmm. I say he's running for president. He's the mini Trump.
Yes.
A guy down there, the sanctimonious, as what Trump call him.
They're not talking about reparation, but they're talking about what?
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
This Congress we have here, man, it's dangerous. Mm-hmm. Dangerous.
Right.
Yes.
What are you hearing from Jamaicans now? About what is happening in Jamaica?
I was talking to a friend and the Prime Minister, Mr. Brogard, they say his name is now Donkey Man. Because he should a donkey to a lady down there and whatever, because the road is bad.
Yes.
He gave a donkey to a lady to help her carry her produce.
Yes.
To the market or something.
Yes, of course.
But one lady don't live alone in the district. It better if he had fixed the road.
Okay.
So vehicle can go there.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he's trying to use a jackass to turn the whole district into jackasses. And in order for that to happen, because the gestation period for a donkey is between 11 and 14 months. Mm. And a donkey cannot produce more than one.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And they criticize, so a few years ago, they criticized Mr. Crawford, who gave out some lady goat, they call you, to some people in Portland. Mm. And the gestation period for a goat.
Yes.
Well, out of 50 days, that is 4.932 months.
Yes.
So within that year, we will get quite a lot of goats.
Yes.
Instead of one donkey for 14 months.
Yeah.
And what I heard that those people who receive goats have a big farm now.
Mm. Okay.
And producing the people with mutton.
Yes.
So you can see the difference between the goats and the jackass.
Yes, sir. Yes. Well, I don't know. I heard the name. I heard that description, among some people too. But the other thing, Valentine, is that, and I think I shared this with you the last time, but we're talking about we talk about the crime in your parish in St. Elizabeth.
Recently, yes, a big robbery at a club somewhere in Braze River.
Yes.
Somewhere in Braze River over the weekend here. And I must recommend the cop that they catch at least 2 of the men for they were shooting. There was a shootout.
Yes, there was.
And also the brave people of Braze River. They came out and assist, as what I get to understand.
Yes.
You know.
But I tell you what,
So,
the situation in St. Elizabeth is troublesome because what seems to be happening, the robbers are targeting the places of entertainment, bars and other.
yes.
And what they are going for is, these machines, game machines.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, they are prevalent in those bars and those places of entertainment, and that is what the robbers are going after. They want the money, right? And in doing that, they are not afraid to take people's lives. And as you know, your parish, in years gone by, your parish was almost a crime-free parish.
Yes. But
And
now it's
yeah, it is cause for concern right now. Yes. Well, the other development I saw was, because I know that Jamaicans are concerned about this. I know that the move to wind up SSL. SSL is that financial entity that where clients were fleeced of over 3 billion, including Usain Bolt. And I saw where the court has ruled that the case to wind it up will be tried in open court.
okay.
Yes. I know that, lots of Jamaicans have concern about what is happening in the banks, right? I know that because the situation with the banks, over the last couple of months is not bright at all. One of the things that is on the table with the banks right now is the amount of money that they are paying on interest. Right? Very, very low. They are paying a very, very low interest rate.
Very, very low.
Yes. And they are getting big interest from the Bank of Jamaica when they do business with the Bank of Jamaica, and the money that they are paying to their clients, it is shameful.
Oh Lord.
Yes. Yes, man.
But I heard that the wheelchair lady there, she said she's not taking it alone. She said other people was involved with her. I don't know if you heard that. The wheelchair there, what's her name, Pantana or something? Whatever.
Yes.
Yes. She's coming to our senses now.
Well,
so let's hope and see how that turn out, that trial.
What I do recall is that the statement that she gave and outlining the amount of money that she took from clients, because it is over $80 million,
Right.
So I ask myself from from I saw it over the period, because that amount of money was taken from client over a period of time. And I'm saying to myself, then she alone was able to fleece 80 million from client without the management of the bank knowing what was happening. No, it is strange. So if she indicated that she will not take it alone, she must know what she's talking about, because she has been she has been with that institution for many years.
Yes.
You know, it is, boy, let me tell you, man, we are in a crisis. At all levels, we are in a crisis, right? Because too many people want to get rich overnight.
Too many, and in every organization there, everywhere there.
Yeah.
I remember 2 years ago, I went to the housing trust and I was inquiring about my contribution. They could search until now. They're still searching. They cannot find my contribution.
Yes.
To the housing trust.
Yes.
You know, but I've been paying for over how many years?
Yes.
And also, I went to all this Victoria Building Society. When the place opened, when it first opened, I was some of the first people who contribute to it. And I went there and to have my thing updated. I said, no, I can lodge. I can get my book updated. I have a couple of years out of updating to be done. And they said, no.
Okay.
But I can still lodge. So I know some hanky-panky is going on there.
Yes, sir.
You know.
Yeah.
So the fleecing is continuing.
Yeah.
Continuing.
Yes, man. Very bad. Very bad. Well, Willie, thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir. And thanks.
And you know, as we always say, to be continued.
To be continued.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, it was our Jamaican friend in New York, Valentine, sharing ideas with us on Rebel Radio. Well, you know, coming up shortly at 3, it is Be Sure. So let us take a break. This is Rebel Radio.
Consulting Services Limited was created for you. We are committed to provide the best in real estate investment opportunities in residential, commercial, and agricultural properties all over Jamaica. Contact us at 11 Connolly Avenue, Kingston 4, or call us at 876-948-0012 or 876-948-0014.
Get your home ready for summer!
Tools coming in hot, hot!
With a whole heap of new arrivals and specials!
Everything for your bathroom, kitchen, living room.
In fact, for every space!
Porcelain tiles, ceramic tiles,
windows, doors, and much more!
We have it all! Savings, savings, savings!
Come shop now! Big time sale at Tools Hardware!
So, come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware!
Do it for your best life, wait. Go check your HIV status, wait. So keep your life trending, no pretending. Me I tell yourself it, do it for you, do it for you. Every time you are link with a condom, coulda house, coulda wife, coulda be a random. Condom connect and protect your profile. Be your own fan, do it for your best life. Do it for your best life, wait. Don't put yourself at risk. Condom connect every time. Do it for your best life, wait.
Ever wanted to share what you know about a crime, but were too afraid? At Crime Stop, we make it easy for you to report on crimes safely and 100% anonymously. All it takes is 4 simple steps. First, contact the tip line at 311 or visit www.crimestop.org or www.311tips.com. Then share what you know anonymously with one of our trained counselors. Any information related to criminal activity is accepted. We don't want to know your identity. We don't record calls or use star 69, and there is no way of tracing tips over the phone or online. You'll also be given a file number for your tip. Next, track the progress of your tip by calling our tip line at 311 and quoting your file number. Finally, if your tip leads to success, you will be eligible for a cash reward. Rewards will be paid out upon request through a trusted disbursement agency with verification process to ensure that your identity remains hidden. Share what you know anonymously. Contact.
It's a girl Shensia with a message to you from myself and the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Shen Yangs, everyone say wear a mask where the numbers drop. I don't want COVID, lay your down flat. Nose and mouth, you pick cover up that. Oh, 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 oh. Sanitizer gets hospitalized. Fight the virus, then fight for your life, yeah. Nobody talk about say you're no response no more. Don't be reckless, cause your test say you're not happy. You can still get the virus from somebody. Don't be reckless, cause your test say you're not happy. You can still get the virus. So keep the numbers down. Protect yourself and the people around. COVID in town, 6 feet apart and 6 feet in the ground. Keep the numbers down. Protect yourself and the people around. COVID in town, 6 feet apart and 6 feet in the ground. Stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, stay alive.
Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it.
No dash no paper, no dash no plastic. Dispose your garbage responsibly. No know how to recycle, learn it quick. And if you drop it, better pick up every piece of it. Plastics last forever, don't forget the bits. Cause when them touch the street, them end up in the sea. Collect pan the reef where they fish them feed. And when you want seafood, I eat your
Keep
eat.
the island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. No dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica.
One, two, three, two more. 1, 2. I does the 30 minutes activity daily. Love your body, treat your body right. Vegetables, make sure you eat plenty. Children do 60 minutes activity daily. Drink some water when you feel thirsty. Cut down dessert and have a smoothie. Jamaicans, love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. One more time now. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Listen up. Make sure you know your health status. Go a doctor and get a regular checkup. Chronic disease can slowly creep up. We can lower the risk and live up if we just eat right and get moving. Jumping, running, dancing or skipping. Change the children, them lazy habit. Make them play out the door and put down the tablet. Jamaicans, love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Jamaica get moving. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. After 2, make me hear you say I love me. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. After 2, make me hear you say I love me. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Jamaicans, love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. One more time now. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Jamaica get moving. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. One more time now. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Listen up.
Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right.
Yes. Welcome back to Rebel Radio. And you know, on a Monday, it's a time for us on a Monday to talk about Be Sure. You know, Be Sure is where we try and provide you with information for emergency. And as usual, we have veteran insurance salesman Lloyd Brim. Lloyd, how are you?
I'm in excellent shape, Desmond.
Okay.
Could never be better.
Okay. Well, this evening what we want to discuss, is the whole question of wills. Over the weekend, the Minister of Justice was urging Jamaicans to prepare a will because he indicated that the Administrator General Department was overburdened. Hundreds of properties under operation there. the department is overwhelmed because they have hundreds of properties to be probated where the deceased died without making a will. And of course, this was causing a problem. So I would like, you to, use the program this evening to tell us about the process of how does one go about making a will and the importance of making a will.
Well, thank you so much, Desmond. Good evening to you and your listeners.
Yes.
The topic I want to talk about is, as you just mentioned, making a will.
Right.
Now, to make a will, you have to be of sound mind. You have to have officers to carry out those to the person. And you can also have a will where some of the assets go to institutions like churches, charitable institutions. But when you're doing these wills, it just requires that you have people who you wish to distribute your estate to.
Yes.
It can be one person or a number of persons. Or to a given institution, you have to state who's the beneficiary. You want the money, the assets, everything to go to Mary Jane.
Yes.
But you are now deceased. You cannot do what it takes to ensure that it goes to Mary Jane.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, a will, it needs to have two executors. It can be one can act, but if you have one and one die, then you have to, some procedure must be carried out for somebody else to step in that shoe. So upon making the will, two executors are needed. The executor is the person or institution that carries out your instructions that you laid out in the will.
Yes.
Now, the executor does not have to read the will. Nobody has to read the will except the person who is constructing the will and the person whose estate is being addressed by the will, the estater. To do these steps that are required is a legal procedure. Therefore, you have a lawyer to construct the will. It is not a must that a lawyer construct it, but it is a must that the lawyer is involved in the probation of the will, because we said the steps that the deceased set out in the will.
Right.
Now, once you hear legal proceeding, you know what that means. That means fee.
That means what? That means what?
FEES, expenses. Some fee has to be paid.
Okay.
Lawyers being paid legal fees. The executor is being paid probate fees.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two professionals whose service attract fees. Now, assets, estate can be made up of assets that have title. To change the name and the title, to show the new ownership. The name of the deceased is on the title,
mm-hmm.
but the procedure now wants the name of the deceased to be removed from the title and the name of the beneficiary, which is the new owner, to be added to the title.
Yes.
To get the name of the deceased off the title and the name of the beneficiary onto the title, it attracts the same expenses as if the beneficiary was actually buying the property. Just that there is no money being passed for the price or the value of the asset.
Mm-hmm.
But the stamp duties, the probate fees, the executor's fees, these fees have to be paid. Where is the money to come from?
Yes.
It has to be paid.
And it has to be paid by it has to be paid by the beneficiary.
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
Because that's one of the major activities of us life insurance agents. To help the person while they are alive, if they so desire to make provision to pay these fees. Might I say that silent partner that doesn't come to life until you die?
Yes.
That's the government.
Yes.
When assets are being transferred by way of title, the government takes its share called the transfer tax.
Okay.
And if there are business tax, land tax, profit tax, whatever tax is outstanding and the estate has to be paid, the deceased person can't do these things. So the executors are the people who get these things done. Close account, open account, draw checks, whatever is necessary. The executor has the legal closing.
Yes.
To get these done.
But
no,
yes, before you go on, I would like you to explain something for our listeners, and that is what you are talking about, and you explain, they require monies to be paid.
Absolutely.
So you explain to us now how agents like you, what role can you play to ensure that money will be available to execute the will?
Okay, well, the correct term is probate. All the activities that you carry out to get the instructions of the deceased person, to get the instructions done,
yes,
carried out, those are called probate.
Yes.
So a number of steps are involved. Now, the person might have cash in their bank account, or they may have assets that can be sold, like stocks and bonds and uncollected funds. All of these things can be put together.
Mm-hmm.
But as an agent, what we do, we get the lawyer and the accountant involved if it's a large estate or a complicated estate. We get them involved to give us estimate of what it would cost to probate the will.
Mm-hmm.
And the deceased person in their lifetime can purchase life insurance to the tune of those expenses. So the estimate is done, and the cost to probate the will and do every other thing that needs to be done. You estimate it, and the person could buy their insurance. Right now I'm talking to somebody to get some insurance in place.
Mm-hmm.
And when we put all of the duties together, what the person would need
right
is about 138, almost $150 million.
Okay.
So a person can buy insurance to cover that. When the person dies, insurance proceeds are paid over into the care of the executors of the will.
Yes.
And then that person or those people carry out the activities using that money from the insurance payout.
To cover the costs.
Yes. But you can get complicated and look at inflation and so because the person made a will 10 years ago. The apartment that they had value in 12 or 20 or $30 million, it might now value 50.
Yes.
So the amount of money that is to be paid is not on the 30 million apartment at the time of making the will.
Mm-hmm.
It is on the $50 million apartment at the time of executing the will.
Right.
So you can have a shortage of cash, you can have an absence of cash. You can have, in these cases now, the executor can seek the intervention of the court for permission to sell assets.
Mm-hmm. Now, the other question is, now what happens when a will is made, but there is no cash, there is no insurance policy, there is no cash in bank, stocks to be sold in order to earn those expenses to probate the will? What happens?
Have to go to the court and seek permission to sell assets.
So it might require that the property, let us say, is a property that is in the will. It might,
yes.
In cases like those, the court would have to give permission for that property to be sold in order to cover those expenses.
Yes.
Okay.
You're going to ask me next, what happens if after having sold the property, the expenses are not covered?
So,
You get me? Because all different situations arise from time to time.
Yes.
So,
when that happens, that sounds very precarious to me. Because that money will have to be found.
Well, you know what the whole thing is? Executors can sue and be sued, I understand. But the bottom line is that whatever assets are available to be sold, it cannot be sold because the deceased never said sell this and do that or sell that and do that.
No.
And even if they did, you still have procedures. But let's say they didn't take that. The court have to give the permission for the property to be sold and the expenses cleared. If there is a shortage of cash, then that's a dog of a different color. That goes into some legal issues. But what I'm fighting and struggling to make clear is that because your uncle leave an apartment block for you, or a fleet of vehicles, or a business of any sort, it does not mean that when the probation process is finished, you're going to get that asset.
Why?
You cannot get it unless the expenses are cleared.
Okay.
So if the court give permission to sell and the money that is realized, that money just break even with the expenses, then that's it. The beneficiary has nothing to get. There's not left. There's no estate.
Yes, understood. Understood.
So all the liabilities, all the assets have to come into the picture.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
To carry out the testator's wishes.
Mm-hmm. So it is advisable then that in making a will that the person ensures that money is or will be available, or is available to cover the cost of probation and all the other expenses.
Well, the first one is funeral expense.
Yes.
And I'd say the second one is the government taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Those are on the top of the list.
Yes.
You can bury somebody, and then man, if somebody die and there is confusion or lack of cash, or anybody can step in and bury the person.
Yes.
But that gives the financier, in this case, a claim on the estate.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get into it a little bit more, when I say give them a claim on the estate, we need also to say that the will, when the will is made, if at probation time a claim comes up that wasn't covered under the bill, under the will, such as somebody turn up with a child, especially underage persons, or persons who are handicapped, they'll never be able to earn. They'll never be able to earn a living for themselves. And so the various, call it birth defects that we would know, that they will never develop into a productive human being work-wise. And they were being taken care of by the deceased. Then if that provision is not made in the will to take care of that person to come and live an ordinary life in terms of the things that they get access to. If that was not in the will,
mm-hmm.
somebody comes forward and make a claim against the will, then the will has to be adjusted to include that person.
Okay.
And is the court have to do it?
Yes. Yes.
If you were taking care of somebody, we have so many different situations in Jamaica. But if you were taking care of somebody and the person is not provided for in the will, and the person can prove to the court that you were their source of support while they were alive, they can make a claim on the will.
Okay. And that
so children and unidentified spouses, previous to death, spouses are not in the picture. And they can come and prove, whether by DNA, whether by any bills, whether by any proof that is acceptable to the court, that they were your source of existence and your source of living and source. Then in that case, the will can be adjusted and cover these people and these claims. A will must be ironclad.
A will must be what?
Iron. CLAD.
Okay.
Protected from all change and destruction.
Yes.
Disruption. Mm-hmm. So it's always best to make a will with the profession that has that training and that knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Other people can make wills too, Pastors can make will, JP can make will. There are some people who can assist you in making the will. Yes. And it is legally sound. But if you have estate, especially sizable estate, just ensure that it is legally done by legal professionals.
Yes, yes.
That's about making the will. We can go on further. And if you allow, we'll just say what happens when no will is made.
Well,
you cannot be in a position where no will exists for you. It just means that you never take the time to write one. And don't use the village lawyer, please.
Okay.
Don't use the village lawyer. Get it done properly. But the department, the government department that handles the will not made by the testator, they never took the time to write a will. The Administrator General Department has a will for everybody.
Oh, okay. I see.
That is what they call intestacy. That means the person died without a will.
Yes.
And if they die and leave 5 wills, 6 wills, 2 wills, if they die and leave those, is not the first one going to be accepted. It's not the third one. It is the one with the latest date. Because having made a will, you can change it. You're entitled to change it. And it's not something that you call Auntie Mary or your son or your nephew and say, you know what, I change my will this morning. You know. That is why you find wills that are not accepted. Because it has flaws, it's not legally sound.
Yes.
And it is the one with the last date. We have a celebrity in the States now where they found a number of wills for her, and there's a court dealing with it to decide which one to use. And of course, when millions and millions of dollars are involved, things take a different color.
Yes, of course.
So the court is at work with that one as it is. But it happens everywhere. It happens everywhere. It just has to be dealt with in a legally sound way. So not making a will does not mean you don't have a will. And that's what the focus of the talk was, I suppose, because it's people who died without a will that their estate falls to the Administrator General.
Yes. And that
famous people.
And that is posing a problem for the Administrator General because they are overwhelmed. They are overwhelmed.
How long since Bob Marley died? You don't have to answer.
19.
Bob
Marley died in 1980.
That's how many years now? 19.
What? That is over 40 years.
Whenever he died, I can check the records. I recommend that somebody who's listening check the records. I don't think his estate has been fully wound up. And many other people, just because he's from among us, but all over the world, famous people, unknown people, they all have wills falling in the intestacy group, which means the will as stated by the law, by the rule of the government, the will there states how your estate must be distributed. If it's husband, just say husband and wife alone. How it is to be distributed if it's man, woman, 1 child, 2 children, 3 children. All of that is stated in the will that is sitting at the Administrator General's Department for those who don't make a will.
But the only thing with that will, when somebody die intestate, is that will at the Administrator General Department you have neither the beneficiaries, and of course the testator would be no way around. So that is a will that is made up by the state then, so to speak.
Long before the person died.
Yes.
Guess what? It usually become a contentious matter.
Yes.
And many people don't have the resources to pay whatever cost becomes involved.
Yes.
And as such, beneficiaries, they just hear about what was in the will for them. But they come and join the deceased group as well. So you see how the thing gets complicated. It gets complicated because John died and left benefits in his estate for Johnny. Johnny is 30 years old, 5 years old, 20 years old. But the bottom line is, Johnny now come and be a deceased without the first person who died, without that will settle. So when that will settle now, Johnny, who died being a beneficiary on the first will, Daddy died and probably never leave a will either. You see why the Administrator General have so many problems?
Yes, I can see.
Beneficiaries die before the will gets probated.
Yes.
So the first deceased, that will have to be straightened out, and whatever falls to the second deceased, never left a will either, another procedure has to be done. So it can go down as far as 3-4 generations if you wish. Dying, and the first ones who died, their estate was never settled.
Yes. Yes, so it can be very complicated.
Well, it is. If it attract the attention of the minister, then it must be some serious and of national importance.
Yes. And based on your explanation, so it is complicated on two fronts.
Yes.
If the person dies an intestate, die without making a will,
yes,
it is complicated.
Yes.
And if he made a will, it can also be complicated.
Absolutely.
Right.
But it's just that when he makes the will,
yes,
there are clear instructions. If the will is properly done,
yes,
there are clear instructions. So you may find that after he dies, having made his will, a beneficiary die without the will being probated. Anywhere large sums of money or expenses come into play, some people step back.
Yes.
So this is not a simple matter.
No, it is not.
It simply says, make a will. Then it says, after making a will, and it is ironclad, it is safe from any challenges. People can challenge it, but they won't win unless there are loopholes.
Yes.
So having made your will, name your beneficiaries. The will is probated and the beneficiaries get their share. When they die, whatever they own needs to be distributed by a will as well.
Yes.
First person make a will, beneficiaries are named and everything, but there's no money. Problem coming. Before the beneficiaries get what was willed to them, they die. and they die as the designated owner for these assets. But they never left a will.
Yeah.
And that can happen 2 or 3 times before the first one gets settled. So you have, sometimes you pass and you see the place locked up. And you say, oh, you mean Mr. Jones' son and daughter, them so worthless? Then just leave the place to run down and this and that. But the administrator general has to name the people who are to benefit from the assets of the person without a will. Either they don't have any money to do it, or neglect, executors die before the will is probated, and then the administrator general have to get into the picture. The administrator general is a burden bearer.
All right. Here is a case. So I made a will, and then after I made the will, I got married. What are the implications there?
Marriage nullifies a will.
Marriage nullifies a will.
Yes.
So therefore, if somebody makes a will after and then get married after, that will is no longer valid.
They have no will.
They have no will.
And if they die before making another one, they will have died intestate.
Yes. Okay. So what they would have to do then is once you get married, then you would have to rewrite your will.
Yes.
Okay.
Critical, Desmond.
Yeah.
Very critical. If 2 people are living, if a man and a wife is living together,
yes,
and 2 different couples, one married and one not married, the intestate laws.
I don't understand that. I don't understand. You
laws,
mean two different couples, a married couple and an unmarried couple.
A couple living together, unmarried, means they have lived together for less than 5 years.
Yes.
Married means them go church and married. Whatever the marriage procedure is, legally. Two would be treated the same way under the intestate law. Each getting the benefits that wives get.
So
remember, when you live together for 5 years, you are considered married.
Hold for me there now. If a married couple, but no will was made.
Yeah.
So therefore the husband or our wife died intestate.
Yes.
And therefore, whoever, whether it's the wife or the husband that is alive, they would have to, the administrator general would be relied on to decide how the estate is distributed.
As long as there is no will. But what I am saying,
yes,
in the case of no will, there are designated people who must get certain percentages.
Okay.
And the wife is a primary one.
Okay.
But if you're living together for 3 years, 4 years, and the two dating the 2 marriages, the one who didn't go to church, and the time that they cohabited is less than 5 years, that one won't be treated as a wife.
Okay.
If they live together for 5 years or more, and they did not go to church, they will still be treated as having gone before a marriage officer.
And therefore the wife would be entitled.
Whatever entitlement the wife have who went to church and get married, the one who lived together with that person for 5 years will be treated in the same way. It is less than 5 years, different treatment.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Follow you. I follow you. The situation again. So here it is. If a wife, let us say, a gift was made, a gift was given to hold on. Explain something before I go there. Explain something. If a husband has children, but not with his wife.
Yes.
How are those children? Those children, suppose they are not in the will.
If he once he's a child.
Yes.
Once he's a child, then they should be mentioned in the will. If you write the will and leave them out,
yes,
then that is your doing. But if they're underage, you know what I mean by underage?
Yeah,
Any age going up to college age. Mm-hmm. So if the age of adulthood is 19, the person is 19 and them working and so on, then you wouldn't have any responsibility for them. You can choose. But if the age of maturity is 19, and at the time of your death, the person is still going to school, then they will not be treated as a adult. They'll be treated as a dependent.
Mm.
So they go to college and into university going on. They will be considered as a dependent, and you provide for dependents.
Yeah. What happens if the beneficiary dies before the testator?
Well, you would need the expert legal person, but as far as I know, when you die before, then the asset that was designated for that person in the will goes back to the testator.
Okay. Yes. I understand. Yeah.
Many times, when the person is named as a beneficiary, you're stating your intention to give them this. That's what you do,
Yes.
But then when you die, what you're going to do? It have to come back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you say X percentage of the assets go to Mary, Jane, whatever. Mm-hmm. When one person dies, then the value of the estate, instead of being divided among 6 people, then it would be divided among 5 instead.
Okay. Yes. Well, I want to tell you something, Brim, is that you have gone through a very complex explanation, but it is important, very important for us. And making to make a will is a very important exercise, because I can see how complicated it can be. And that is why the Administrator General and, as I said, the Minister was appealing, asking for us to make wills because it is what we are talking about takes time. So you can just see when someone dies intestate without making a will, the time it takes to complete that exercise. Boy, I can well imagine. And also, making the will, one of the things that we have to be mindful of, especially those of us who have large estate, that we leave money to take care of the expenses. We are at the end, so I'm giving you the final word, Mr. Brim.
Well, Desmond, it is so important when we're talking about wills, because most of us, many of us, have evidence of what happens when a will is not made and like you have 2 or 3 premises and different people occupy them. No will is made, then the person who is managing the estate and so, he has the right to close up those buildings and put out the people.
Mm-hmm.
Or he can take on the responsibility of getting somebody to run the businesses.
Mm-hmm.
If it turn out to be a loss, imagine. People claiming things that were not given to them. The Administrator General take away the cars, take away the different assets, lock them up, and that's the person, that's the officer that is responsible for all of these assets because the deceased never did give it to anybody. So he takes care, take them over, manage them, do everything, keep them safe.
Until the matter is settled.
Yes. Maybe by it settle the roof, rotten off, and 2 walls fall down, and
yes,
it near the gully bank, and the whole thing wash away.
Yeah.
But nobody can claim it.
Yeah.
Except the Administrator General.
Yeah. Okay.
Claim it and then distribute it.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you very much, and I want to tell you something. We have to continue this discussion next week because I think we need to reinforce the point, repeat the point, so that we get people to understand the importance of making a will.
No problem, sir, and prevent a lot of family squabble and death and all these things. Because people kill people over these things.
Of course. Well, we have come to the end of Be Sure this week. Want to thank you, Mr. Lloyd Brim. And we'll be back next week with Be Sure. Until then, be sure. This is Rebel Radio. Oh, yes. Welcome back to Rebel Radio. Right. And at this time, we're going over to Cane River. Yes, because the community development organization over there is planning an event I mean, in a couple of days. Today is the 24th. And we have Miss Anne-Marie Clue to tell us all about what those plans are. Anne-Marie, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Richard.
Yes. So tell us about what is being planned for August.
All right. So we're having a wine festival.
Okay.
On the 5th of August.
Yes.
The
5th of August.
Yeah, the 5th of August, the Saturday the 5th of August.
Yes.
And along with that, we have a health and social fair, where we have doctors coming in.
Yes.
Yes. Where you have NIS coming in, NHF coming in, PASS coming in, and the Ministry of Justice will come in as well.
Mm-hmm.
There will be blood pressure checkup, blood cholesterol test, blood sugar test, back to school medical checkup, sign up for the PASS program, as well as information how to become a restorative justice community practitioner.
Mm-hmm.
And in the evening, we have a little bingo to top off the day.
Okay. Yes.
With a domino competition.
All right. So the wine festival, tell us some more about the wine festival. What
All
is
right.
it? Yeah.
All right. The wine festival now, we have found that in the community there are different variety of fruits available.
Uh-huh.
So we want to engage persons in activities that are economic, that can give economic returns.
Yes.
And one of that activities is making wines.
Yes.
Right. So we are making the wines. They'll be judged on a competition basis, and we have persons from Bureau of Standards coming in and also SRC coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So they'll be judging our wines, and out of that, we are hoping that we will get support to further push the wines out of the community and onto the wider market.
Okay. So the wine will be locally produced wine?
Yes, locally produced wine.
Yes.
Yes.
And who is going to judge? Where the judges are coming from? Who are those judges?
All right. We have judges coming from the 4-H.
Yeah.
And from SRC and from Bureau of Standards.
Yeah. So wine will,
and SDC.
So wine will be on sale, right?
Yes. Also, we will have other wines that are fermented, properly prepared beforehand. That will be on sale. But those wines that for the competition, they might not be aged to perfection.
Yes.
But they will be available as well.
Okay, I see. So, so I can see, your doctors will be there to provide free medical care.
Yes.
Yes. It will also be an event where children can have their back to school medical checkups.
Yes,
okay.
Certainly.
Yes, I see. And what time it is going to start?
It will start at 10. And of course, food and refreshment will be on sale.
Yes. This is very, 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 very good effort and this is the Community Development
Council, right, yes.
Council, right? So
yes.
This is the Cane River Community Development Council putting on an event on the 5th of August, right? And it is going to be held at the school. At the
Friendship Brook Primary
School. At 10, and it starts at 10 a.m.
At 10 a.m.
Right.
Promise to be a fun-filled day with lots of activities. And we're looking forward to see the community of Cane, not only the community of Cane River, but the surrounding community of 9 Miles and Taylorland come out and share in the day's activities.
Okay. That's very, very good. Very, very good effort. Right. So that's it we're inviting everybody on the 5th of August, 10 a.m., Friendship Book Primary School, the Cane River Development Council putting on a wine festival. And I'm sure that this is the continuation of a number of programs that has been that the council.
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yes, it's a part of our activity for the year.
Yes.
We partner with the SEC. The SEC has been very supportive of our efforts.
Yes.
And they will partnering with us.
Yes.
So with this event, and also 4-H. So we are grateful for the support of these entities, and we look forward to future endeavors as we try to grow our community.
Okay. Well, I can tell you, we'll talk again before the 5th. Yes. So bear that in mind. Just remind me. Okay. We'll and prepare yourself. We are going to have another promotional talk about this event before the 5th. Okay, Sister Marie, take care of yourself.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. Yes, that was Anne-Marie Clou of the Cane River Development Council telling us about their wine festival coming up. Well, we are preparing now for workers' time, and that is coming up shortly. Let us go for a break.
RSL Consulting Services Limited was created for you. We are committed to provide the best in real estate investment opportunities in residential, commercial, and agricultural properties all over Jamaica. Contact us at 11 Connelly Avenue, Kingston 4, or call us at 876-948-0012 or 876-948-0014.
Get your home ready for summer!
Tools coming in hot.
With a whole heap on your arrivals and specials!
Everything for your bathroom, kitchen, living room.
In fact, for every space!
Porcelain tiles, ceramic tiles.
Windows, doors, and much more!
We have it all! Savings!
Come shop now! Big time sale at Tools Hardware!
So, come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware!
Ever wanted to share what you know about a crime, but were too afraid? At Crime Stop, we make it easy for you to report on crimes safely and 100% anonymously. All it takes is 4 simple steps. First, contact the tip line at 311 or visit www.crimestop.org or www.311tips.com. Then share what you know anonymously with one of our trained counselors. Any information related to criminal activity is accepted. We don't want to know your identity. We don't record calls or use star 69, and there is no way of tracing tips over the phone or online. You'll also be given a file number for your tip. Next, track the progress of your tip by calling our tip line at 311 and quoting your file number. Finally, if your tip leads to success, you will be eligible for a cash reward. Rewards will be paid out upon request through a trusted disbursement agency with verification process to ensure that your identity remains hidden. Share what you know anonymously. Contact
Do it for your best life. Go check your HIV status. So keep your life trending, no pretending. Me, I tell yourself it, do it for you. Every time you are link with a condom, coulda Ozzy, coulda wife, coulda be a random. Condom connect and protect your profile. Be your own fan. Do it for your best life. Do it for your best life. Do it. Don't put yourself at risk. Condom connect every time. Do it for your best life. Do it.
Yes. Welcome back, and it is time for Workers' Time. Workers' Time is where we talk about industrial issues at the workplace. And we have with us Mr. Vincent Morrison, and trade unionist, and Dr. Venetia Kiffin. Good afternoon, Mr. Morrison. Good afternoon, Dr. Kiffin.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Good afternoon to your listeners.
Yes, sir. Yes. Dr. Kiffin, the ladies before gentlemen, what has been happening with your colleagues? What is the situation with these public surgeons? Could you tell us what is happening?
Sure. Well, last the permanent secretary was on vacation leave.
Yes.
He resumed duties earlier in July. We had tried reaching out to him unsuccessfully, and the members, the surgeons, are very, very frustrated with how the process has gone, the many delays, and so it became unavoidable that industrial action was taken last week, Wednesday, where we did a sit-in.
Right.
After which, representative of the Ministry of Health got in touch with our union, and we have essentially settled to meet with them this Friday to discuss the issues that we have at hand.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So what is currently outstanding is the Ministry of Finance would have written to the permanent secretary after our last meeting with them in April. So we met with them April 5. I think the letter they sent to the PS was April 14. But the health has not yet responded, and Ministry of Finance has said that they are unable to go forward with our compensation review, with our negotiations, until they get that response from the Ministry of Health. So that is what we'll be discussing on Friday.
Yeah. So I can just well imagine that the workers are very upset because
it was really, really difficult to get them to go back to work, to be honest with you, on Thursday, because they're quite upset, as you put it.
Yes.
Very frustrated.
Yes, because now it's July now, so it is based on my memory, it's 3 months now. It's 3 months, because nothing as we speak.
Well, we met with the PS in May.
Yes.
In May, but since that we've not been able to have a meeting with them. Mm-hmm. So, and these situations have been resolved a long time ago. The issues that we have outstanding are over 30 years old. The Classification Appeals Tribunal in 2015 should have resolved these issues, but despite the fact that we're not seeing any official announcement that the tribunal is closed, the Ministry of Finance is saying that the cat is dead. So our issues remain open.
I don't even understand what that means, because that sounds as if that he is totally avoiding any discussion on that. That's how it sounds to me.
Right. The protocol should have been, if it is that they're in a disagreement with whatever came out of the tribunal, which we don't have access to,
then they should have officially closed the tribunal and opened another one. You know, that is really what it ought to be, but it's almost a decade now and we can't hear anything at all from the Ministry of Finance regarding the Classification Appeals Tribunal, which does not affect us alone. There are several groups, many groups, that had an issue with the reclassification exercise at the time, and that's why they ended up having the Classification Appeals Tribunal. So just ignoring it, you know, is way out of line, out of protocol, and I'm not sure where that puts us really. But what's at hand is that the issues that were mentioned there should have been resolved from that tribunal remain open, and that is what is delaying our thing now.
Yes.
So we hope to resolve them with Ministry of Health this coming Friday.
Yeah. But, when it comes on to the equipment side of the that is supposed to be is the Ministry of Health is supposed to address that issue?
Yes, that's correct. That is their responsibility.
Yes. And so far, what has been done since? What has been done? Have you had any reaction from the ministry to, you know, make?
No. With regards to equipment and working conditions, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Nothing at all. Okay. Nothing at all. Nothing with regards to the short staff as well, which since we last spoke, it came to my attention that a study was done and it was decided that over 900 dental surgeons were needed to address the needs of the public in Sarah, South East Regional Authority, Health Authority, which comprises of St. Thomas, Kingston, and St. Andrew, and St. Catherine. So over 900 dental surgeons are needed in that area, and we have only about 35 maybe in that area, much less the rest of the country. So right now we have less than 90 dental surgeons, you know, on the ground, approximately about 80. And so if Sarah needs 900, I mean, what about the rest of Jamaica? You can call it that. We need a cadre of at least 2,000.
Yes.
And so it's less than 10% of the staffing needs that are currently employed.
Mm-hmm. And so far you have heard nothing from the Ministry of Health?
Nothing at all. We've asked repeatedly, you know, with this new restructuring exercise, what are the quotes, what are the number of posts that have been requested by the Ministry of Health that should come now from the Ministry of Health? And no response. We have no idea.
Well, this is totally unacceptable. Mr. Morrison.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, you just heard from Dr. Griffin that what we are having
yes,
total.
and I could say for my part, I could say ditto.
Yes. Yes.
You know what is ditto?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I could say that.
Yes, yes.
But since you have me, let me just touch on three broad areas. What we are talking about is we want to see the dental profession, the dental services, restructured. And perhaps the main area of this restructuring has to be the reporting relationship. Now, I just want to quickly define a dental surgeon. What a dental surgeon is. Because there are many people who believe a dental surgeon is a doctor, is a medical doctor.
Yeah.
And that is not the case. Dentists, stroke doctors of dental surgery are experts in the field of dentistry. And they study, diagnose, treat, and prevent diseases, injuries, and abnormalities of the teeth, mouth, jaws, and associated tissues by applying the principles and procedure of modern dentistry. They use a broad range of specialized diagnostic, surgical, and other techniques to promote and restore and maintain health, specifically oral health. They plan, supervise, and evaluate the implementation of care and treatment plans by other oral healthcare providers and conduct dental education and research activities. So, as I said, dental doctors are not medical doctors. A dentist is therefore not a medical doctor, neither a medical doctor is a dental surgeon. And the ILO and other international group will have, documentary proof of this. Medical officers of health are by law unable to provide any effective supervision for the practice of dentistry, as the practice of dentistry is highly regulated, thus allowing only suitable, trained, competent, and registered professional in dentistry to provide direction and supervision. And that's where we have a problem, because over the years, the law as it relates to dentistry has been violated. We're setting up of the regional health authority. The authorities have been putting together their own arrangement. And yes, they are the employers, I agree. But the point I'm making here is that there are some risk to all that is happening. And therefore, one of the things that we want to sort out during this negotiation is to ensure that before we put pen to paper, the governance issue as it relates to the profession is sorted out properly.
Yes.
We also have the reclassification of certain posts. Dr. Kiffin did mention the CAT, what they call the Classification Appeals Tribunal. In some years ago, many years ago, 2010, some years down the road, we all met at the Altamont Court Hotel, and we agreed to certain points as it relates to the whole question of dentistry.
Yes.
That is not being honored by the Ministry of Health. And we are very disappointed. We are very disappointed. One of the issues that we have in the negotiation is where a dental nurse is being classified within the same bandwidth as a dental doctor. The dental doctor, that we call a locum intern, they are not recognizing that level of the dentist, that doctor. It's really a full-fledged dental doctor.
Yes.
So there's no way in which you can put a dental nurse within the same classification. And we're not going to accept that.
Yes.
In terms of the pay, we believe that, and we have given the ministry a structure that we believe is fair and reasonable. So where the ministry have, I think it's from 1 to 6 or somewhere there, we have provided a structure of 1 to 7. Starting with the locum dental intern at 1, and moving the rest of the dentists. For example, where the Ministry of the grade, dental doctor grade 1, we are saying that the doctor should be adjusted to grade 2.
Mm-hmm.
Where the grade 2, where the Ministry of the grade 2, we are saying that should move to grade 3. Grade 3 to grade 4, grade 4 to grade 5, grade 5 to grade 6,
and grade 6 to 7.
To grade 7.
All right.
Basically, there was an evaluation some years ago, and what we found was that the medical doctor and the chief dental officer,
yes,
they were graded at the same point in the result, but one was extrapolated, and we don't think that this is fair. So we are pushing and pressing very hard. But let me tell you what happened. On the 14th of April, we had a meeting with the Ministry of Finance, and these issues were raised. The Ministry wrote to the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Brand. Yes, we had a meeting, but what the Ministry of Finance is awaiting is a response, a direct response to these issues that was raised on the 14th, April the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
And let me say this. When you pay big salary to anybody, whether in the private or the public sector, your productivity must go. If productivity don't go, you're not going to benefit. The country is not going to benefit.
Yes.
You tell me that all the power, yes, the permanent secretary went off and leave. But don't tell me all the other HR specialists in the Ministry of Health and elsewhere could not have responded to the Ministry of Finance since the 14th of April. Now what? April, May, June, July.
Yes.
It's soon reach Independence August.
Mm.
Right? So those are the issues. And we are making the point very clear that since these negotiations are specific in terms of what the government is trying to do, indeed the government is talking about equity, fairness, and we agree with that. But it must be actionable. It can't be just, the Minister of Parliament.
It does theory.
And beat his chest.
Yeah.
And beat his chest, and nothing's happening.
Mm-hmm. No, it's totally unacceptable because I heard the Ministry of Health in his budget presentation announcing some new measures, some dental measures that he intend to introduce. And that will require the services of the dental workers.
Yes.
And
so just to summarize what you have said, we have said that dentists are not medical doctors, and medical doctors are not dentists.
Yeah.
We want the legislative and the regulatory framework to be dealt with as it relates to the practice of dentistry. The whole issue of risk, the risk management aspects of the profession is very vital.
Yes.
And that is why we believe the dental consultants are the person who's supposed to be out there in the regions, in the parishes, doing the day-to-day supervision.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The leadership and governance in the sector must be dealt with. And we believe that the reclassification of the chief dental officer at a higher level is paramount.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
You did spoke to Dr. Kiffin about issues like gears and what have you.
Yes.
Let me just make one final point here. When a dentist moves from one location to the other, they're almost carrying an office to them. So they have to have mobility. And what we find was that some of these arrangements, like the traveling, etc., have been taken away. The dentist will have to carry all his or her tools.
Yes.
To go into the Minister of Health constituency to do a fair. If you're going to do some work in the ministry, she or he has to carry a ton load of equipment. And therefore we are saying that if there's an agreement with the Confederation about traveling, that traveling should be ruled in basic pay or taken out or whatever, that should never apply to groups like the dental doctors.
Okay.
Should never apply to a group like that.
Yes.
The other thing that we have to take into consideration is that having ruled into basic pay, a number of the benefits that the dentists and workers generally across Jamaica were getting, it has pushed the tax threshold. And if we're not careful, we will be worse off because of the taxation.
Yes, because
the Ministry of Finance will definitely benefit because they will collect more taxes.
Yes.
But the standard, the living standard of the doctors must be protected. The living standard of every worker in Jamaica must be protected.
Yes.
And if we're not careful, this compensation review will destroy what we have established as trade union leaders and trade unionists across the country for all workers.
Yeah, yes.
So we're not being stubborn. We're not being pig-headed. We're being fair and reasonable. We're being sensible. And I want to commend the doctors, the dental surgeons across the country for the tremendous Job-like patience that they have demonstrated over these negotiations.
Okay,
right?
okay.
We don't mind if Christmas will come. We want the best, what is reasonable, right? Equitable, for the doctors we represent.
Okay, sir. Okay. No, what if I must just say that what is first of all, I saw last week where it was announced that the Windalco it's going to get some break, some
10 million.
some
10 million.
Yes, and it was the minister justified that, saying that this will help to maintain jobs. Though, what is your take?
Well, first, we were at the tribunal, I think the same day when the minister made the announcement. We are still at the tribunal. So we are there tomorrow. We are there on Thursday. And you will recall that about 2 or 3 months ago, we had to go on a 3-day strike.
Yes.
To get a response from the company. The company proposed 6% in year 1 and 6% in year 2. And there was nothing else in the 24-point claim that was served. If you ask me what is happening at UC Rooster Alumina Jamaica, I think the company is taking all of us in Jamaica, inclusive of the government, for a ride.
Why do you say that?
The workers are doing their best under difficult conditions. The workers in 2010 when the company shut down both Kirkline and Yotton.
Yes.
They reopened in June 2010, and the salary that the workers were getting was less than when they paid. The workers have been placed on a fixed-term contract, and there's no vacation leave, there's no pension. This is a company, you know.
Yes. I tell you what, Brother Vin, just hold it for me. Let us take a short break. This is Rebel Radio. Yes, back with us on Rebel Radio, and we are at Workers' Time. We have with us trade unionist Vincent Morrison and Dr. Griffin. Yes, Brother Morrison, you were explaining this situation with UC Russell.
Yeah, so the point is that the fixed-term contract, and let me say that the dentists are on fixed-term contract also.
Yes.
And that is one of the issues that we are pushing very hard to get all members of this fixed-term contract. Fixed-term contract should not last for, well, you shouldn't have fixed-term contract for jobs or professions which are not short-term. You know, and Jamaica is the only country that don't have a policy and fixed-term contract.
Yeah. Well,
you can't offer more than 2 fixed-term contracts.
You have about 20,000 workers in the public sector on fixed-term contracts. Yeah?
Yes, and the job they are doing is not short-term job.
No.
Right? So again, I think it's a situation where the parliament, and I'm surprised that we have 2 prominent trade union leaders in the parliament who have not seen this or seen it fit to make representation, to bring a motion to have they fix the law amended to protect the Jamaican workers. But the point I'm making here that UC Russell, they set the production targets they want. If they want 550,000 tons of bauxite each year, they set that figure. That's what they you know, employers have nothing to do with that. But you know what? When the aluminum is transported by rail down to Port Esquivel and it's offloaded into a ship, the local company has nothing to do with it again. They don't advertise, they don't deal with the marketing side of the industry. So it is sold to one of their subsidiaries, RTI, Russell Trading Incorporated. We don't know. Well, it is sold at 14% of the London Metal Exchange price. What we don't know is what RTI sells the product at. We don't know what they sold it at. Eh? And we are saying that if the company complains about losses, then they need to talk to RTI. Because if you are in the bottle business or the ackee or the water coconut business, inflation goes up, then you're going to adjust your price. But this 14% of the London Metal Exchange that you see Rusal Alumina sells its alumina to its sister company, that price has been there since 2011. And the company, in their brief to the tribunal, is showing that they have made over $3 billion losses.
$3 billion?
Over $3 billion.
That is now, over what period of time?
Well, they're talking about since they started operation in 2010.
What?
Now, I have said to the tribunal, I'm rejecting those figures. Because it's quite obvious that the deal between themselves and RTI, another Russian company, is not at arm's length. The deal is not at arm's length. And since the deal is not at arm's length, look, there's no company is going to operate anywhere in the world and making those losses and still continue to operate. Well, they just get an extended license the other day to mine more bauxite all over. St.
Yes.
But look at what has happened.
I get the impression was given that if they don't get this financial break, that they are going to close.
Yeah, and they did that in 2010 when they bullied the Bruce Golding administration that gave them a waiver.
Yes.
And the bauxite production levy of $64 million between 2010 and 2080.
Yes.
The taxpayers of Jamaica gave up $64 million. And when you add the 10 million they got the other day,
yes,
that is 74 million that they have gotten. Now look what they have done. They had Alpart. They sold Alpart for 300 million. They didn't lose a cent at Alpart. They closed down Kirkvine. Kirkvine was the first bauxite and aluminum. And what they did, they cannibalized Kirkvine. They took out the parts, all the parts they needed, spare parts they needed for Yorktown. Then take them out of Kirkvine and put over nearly 2,000 workers in the middle of the country out of work.
Yes.
But what they're saying to the tribunal, it is against the national interest to give the workers a 10% increase. So they have closed Kirkvine, they have cannibalized it, they have thousands and thousands of acres of land. Not only in Manchester, but in Yorktown, in St. Ann.
Yeah. And so, those lands are idle.
They have a farm called Grove Place in Manchester.
Yes.
That is very near to my heart.
Yes.
Because I heard my mother, when she was a young girl, she usually worked there. 500 plus acres of land. Can you believe? Can you believe that all they have is a couple of cows and the land? The farm is one of the leading farms in Jamaica.
Yes.
You might have heard about Dr. Lecky and
yes.
all the outstanding scientists that we have. You know what the workers told us? The workers told us that when a cow dies, the only way they can find them is by virtue of the crow, the John Crow, flying over the area. So the John Crow is the compass. Now this is a Russian company that we are allowed to come in this country and pull the wool over our eyes and do what they want to do. But look what is happening. They are producing aluminum at the rated capacity of the plant.
Yes.
Although Yorktown is an old plant. Because of the efforts of the workers, they are producing aluminum in substantial quantity.
Yes.
And it is being sold internationally. Some of it is going to the plant in Russia. I think so, some supposed to have gone to Ukraine, etc. To the Swedes, can you imagine? And their economies. I mean, Australia, like ourselves, Australia took over the leading bauxite and aluminum producer in the world. But look on the Australian nation. Look on their progress. And we gave up. We gave up already 74 million US. You know what 74? Venetia and themselves wouldn't be in the program if the government had that 74 million somewhere in their coffers.
Yeah, because they would be able to pay the workers and buy equipment for
the million teachers wouldn't be complaining.
Yes.
The patrol that is dropping going to work, that wouldn't be there.
No.
Eh? The poverty, talking about poverty. How can we allow a Russian company, one of the biggest companies in the world, to come here? Eh? And taking out the bauxite and the little levy that they're supposed to be paying. When Michael Manley introduced the levy, you know, the sugar companies were paying more money than the bauxite company in terms of taxes.
Yes.
Yes. So I don't know. I think we have some madness with our policies, and the sooner we get rid of them, the better. But
yeah.
I love to talk about fairness.
Yeah, I do. Let us have to bring back that Dr. Kifrin. Doc?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because you know one of the things I would like you to tell us now, based on where you are right now, if the service, so the negotiation at the Ministry of Health, if it falls down, or let me ask you the question: what is required for the service to continue delivering and to improve the service delivery? What is required as we speak right now?
Well, we have to understand that for the most part across Jamaica and the public dental clinic, basic dental services are not provided, right? Yes. So, and that's largely due to working conditions, lack of equipment, lack of maintenance of existing equipment. So those would have to be sorted. We would have to get equipment, we would have to get regular maintenance of those equipment. Second, more currently at the rate we are being paid and the rates we're being offered, there is nothing to attract or retain any surgeon to the public service.
Yes.
Because putting it simply, you can make several times your pay if you devote yourself to private practice. So we need more surgeons. Thirdly, dental school is very, very expensive. It is the most expensive course offered in Jamaica, and it is the most expensive course offered worldwide. Or counterparts, the medics do get some subsidies on their tuition. Would like to see something more of the same, right? Because we are critically short right now. We need to see surgeons coming in the service and being, affording to study. right? So we need more wage, more surgeons, better equipment, and we need a sensible governance and reporting structure.
Yes.
Only then can we hope to see some. We need monitoring and evaluation as well, and research, right? Because there's no research right now. If you want to find out anything about Jamaica with regards to oral disease, you'll have to look at World Health Organization. The information is not available in the country itself and certainly not readily accessible. So we need more of that. We also need surgeons in tertiary institutions. We need dental departments in the hospitals, because when it is that persons meet in accidents or, whatever, injury, conflict, assault, or whatever it may be, they need oral care. Many of them lose their teeth. Sometimes you may be in an accident and the tooth comes out for whatever reason. It can be re-implanted, but only if it is done within a short space of time, like under 6 hours for the most part. We don't have the services to provide that care, and so a lot of people end up losing their teeth and becoming more and more dentally disabled because we don't have that level of accessibility at hospital in those, early morning hours or midnight and that sort of thing. So, those are some of the few and key things that would need change. And for all of that, we need direction. And we don't need direction from people who don't understand or know dentistry any at all, who never studied dentistry and understand the scope and the practice that it comes with. We need persons who are aptly trained and duly qualified to lead the service. So there you have it.
Well. That is more than a mouthful, Doctor. Yes. As we speak, I can see that one of the things that is needed, for example, the delivery of service in the public service. So for example, I know that schools are being inadequately served.
Right.
Yes. And public clinics are also inadequately served.
Mm-hmm.
So it is correct to say that as we speak, the public dental services in the country are not they are not being met.
The oral health needs, that's absolutely correct. I'll remind you that information, data from the WHO in 2019 has it that 45% of children have untreated disease in their mouth, 5 years, under 5 years old, right? Have untreated diseases. So that's almost half of the population of children currently in Jamaica. So, and we, as dental surgeons, we visit these schools. So, you could almost say that we work, not really, right? Not genuinely, but in both industries, because we have a very close relationship with the schools in our environment.
Yes.
We tend to visit those schools, and any given visit you may find maybe 1%, if so many, of children with good oral health, but for the most part they're all suffering.
Yes, that is
so correct. Yeah. We are inadequately served right now. We are basically just dealing with emergencies, but for the most part, an end-stage disease that's almost all we can manage at this time.
And another thing that you spoke about, governance structure. Who you report to? Who the association report to? The permanent secretary?
Well, at different levels of service, you know, at the health department, at the regional level, and at the Ministry of Health, or department currently reports to medical officers. And as Mr. Morrison aptly said, we medical doctors are not surgeons, and surgeons are not medical doctors. Furthermore, while our training is more extensive than theirs, meaning we have a background in medicine, because this is a specialty, they don't have any background at all in history. Yes. So my question is, you know, how can you govern, how can you lead, how can you manage a department that you have absolutely no experience and absolutely no knowledge on?
Yes.
No practice in. And I believe, and it is fair to say, that this is the reason why there is currently an oral health crisis in Jamaica. And I do mean an oral health crisis. People are suffering terribly the ravages of oral disease. So, you know, it's time to do what needs to be done, where dentistry is recognized internationally as an profession, an autonomous profession. We self-relate, we self-govern. So I don't see, I mean, Jamaica is known to be a trendsetter in many areas, but when we trendset, we have to set the trend in the right way. And this that is being done right now is having a largely negative impact on the service and on the health of all people.
Very, 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 very bad. Very, very bad. Brother Morrison.
Yes, sir.
The last time we spoke, let me just go straight to it. What is happening with the security guards?
Well, we had a meeting with our lawyers on Friday.
Yes.
That was the last of 4 meetings I had on Friday. Finished about 9 o'clock here on Friday night. And I'm pleased to announce that I've fixed well, put it this way, the law has served down a document in the courts to deal with the issues affecting security guards above that. But a call a fixed date claim form has been served. And what we're now waiting for is the date for the court to give us a date so we can make the formal announcement. But we believe, in fact we know, we don't believe, we know that the security guard has been wrong. They have been treated bad, terrible, wicked. As a trade union leader, I couldn't stand by and allow this to happen. And although the security guards are not bona fide members of the union, like Venezuela and other groups, the dental doctors and other group, if we believe in Christianity and we should not pass the sick lying down, we should try and help. You know, and we're doing that.
Yes.
So very soon we'll be making an announcement to the country that we have gone to the courts to see how we can rectify a wrong that has been done to Jamaican workers.
Yes.
Security guard.
Yes, yes. The minister, the last minister, gave an undertaking that that the trade union, as a matter of fact, the joint confederation were contacted that they should set up what is the term?
Well, the former minister, yes, but I'm not sure where that is going. We're not a part of it. We're not invited to participate in the setting of this joint industrial council.
Yes.
In spite of the fact that we were by far more vocal and strident about the setting of this council. But the minister did fit to invite other persons who didn't raise a voice about this council, and I don't know where it is. But we are doing what we have to do. We just got bargaining rights for a very important group of security guards. Those that guard the embassy, what they call the SOS guardsman.
Yeah.
We just got bargaining rights for in excess of 220 of them. And so far, we're working pretty well with the management in dealing with some of the issues.
Yes.
We invite the security guards to join the union straight so that, we can deal with their issues. But let me tell you something. Security guards are among the hardest group of workers in Jamaica. Become unionized. They're tough. When it comes to joining the union, it's difficult. Very difficult.
Is it because they're afraid? That is what
Them freeze like puss. Puss freeze?
Yes, but I would have thought that recent developments would have helped to alleviate the fear factor. So
well, with all that happens recently, I thought the fear factor would have been gone,
Yeah.
But as I said, the big problem is that they gave them this contract to sign.
Yes.
That contract would extinguish all of their past benefits. And there are some workers who refuse to sign, still don't sign, but they have been thrown out of employment. Right? Others have signed and at work. But as far as we are concerned, we respect all of those who have not signed. And those who signed, they tell us that Mr. Morrison, we signed because we didn't have a choice. When a woman tells you that she's the sole breadwinner of the home, when she tells you that if she don't sign, the people can't go to school and can't get food. So this is the reason why she signed, because she says she don't have no man to help her. And she won and the little money. It's little but it's regular.
Yes.
And that's why lady tell me, Mr. Morris, if I don't sign, it's care. Because me don't have nobody else to give me no money. And that's the only little source of income.
Yes, yes.
So I have to respect that.
Yes, of course. Yes.
I have to respect that.
Yeah. Another category of workers, Mr. Morrison, that I know are having it difficulty is in the tourism sector.
Extremely, yeah. Because that was a fully unionized sector years ago. But again, the fear factor again. And a lot of young people in that sector who still live with their grandmothers and them grandfathers, so it don't really matter, and the whole education of information about trade unions, I think disappointed that the Confederation has not taken that on. But we at UKs will have to do some work.
'em. 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 'em.
And that is why we're getting some young repeat persons on board who can help us to put the message out there.
Yeah. Right.
Whether we're going to use AI or the normal, or the social, whatever. But and again, I want to thank you because you are one of the persons out there who have always shown tremendous interest.
Yes.
In the working class.
Yes, sir.
And the workers' time is an appropriate, useful instrument to get the information out there.
Right. Well, I want to thank you very much for your participation this evening. And as you know, you and Dr. Griffin knows that this platform remains open to discuss what is happening at the workplace.
Our team.
Yes.
Our team.
Yes.
Eh?
Right.
I am on the left and she's on the right.
Okay.
We work as a team going forward.
All right.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. So keep up the good work and let me say to be continued. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care.
Yes. Yes, that was Workers' Time with trade unionist Mr. Vincent Morrison and Dr. Griffin, Dr. Venetia Griffin, the Jamaica Association of Dental Surgeons. This has been Workers' Time. Let us go for a break.
Consulting Services Limited was created for you. We are committed to provide the best in real estate investment opportunities in residential, commercial, and agricultural properties all over Jamaica. Contact us at 11 Connolly Avenue, Kingston 4, or call us at 876-948-0012 or 876-948-0014.
Get your home ready for summer!
Tools coming in hot, hot!
With a whole heap on your arrivals and specials!
Everything for your bathroom, kitchen, living room.
In fact, for every space.
Porcelain tiles, ceramic tiles.
Windows, doors, and much more!
We have it all! Saving, saving, saving!
Come shop now! Big time sale at Tools Hardware!
So, come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road.
Or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware!
Ever wanted to share what you know about a crime, but were too afraid? At Crime Stop, we make it easy for you to report on crimes safely and 100% anonymously. All it takes is 4 simple steps. First, contact the tip line at 311 or visit www.crimestop.org or www.311tips.com. Then share what you know anonymously with one of our trained counselors. Any information related to criminal activity is accepted. We don't want to know your identity. We don't record calls or use star 69. And there is no way of tracing tips over the phone or online. You'll also be given a file number for your tip. Next, track the progress of your tip by calling our tip line at 311 and quoting your file number. Finally, if your tip leads to success, you will be eligible for a cash reward. Rewards will be paid out upon request through a trusted disbursement agency with verification process to ensure that your identity remains hidden. Share what you know anonymously. Contact.
Do it for your best life. Go check your HIV status. So keep your life trending, no pretending. Me, I tell yourself it, do it for you, do it for you. Every time you are link with a condom, coulda Ozzy, coulda wife, coulda be a random. Condom connect and protect your profile. Be your own fan. Do it for your best life. Do it for your best life. Do it. Don't put yourself at risk. Condom connect every time. Do it for your best life.
Girl Shansia with a message to you from myself and the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Shen Yang, everyone feel wear a mask where the numbers drop. I don't want COVID, lay you down flat. Nose and mouth, you fi cover up that. Oh, 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 oh. Sanitizer, get hospitalized. Fight the virus, then fight for your life, yeah. Nobody talk about say you no response no more. Don't be reckless, cause your test say you not have, you can still get the virus from somebody. Don't be reckless, cause your test say you not have, you can still get the virus. So keep the numbers down, protect yourself and the people you're around. COVID in town, 6 feet apart and 6 feet in the ground. Keep the numbers down, protect yourself and the people you're around. COVID in town, 6 feet apart and 6 feet in the ground. Stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, stay alive.
Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it.
No dash, no paper, no dash, no plastic. Dispose your garbage responsibly. No know how to recycle, learn it quick. And if you drop it, better pick up every piece of it. Plastics last forever, don't forget the bits. Cause when them touch the street, them end up in the sea. Collect pan the reef where they fish them feed. And when you want seafood, I eat your
Keep we
eat.
island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. No dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica.
Oh, yeah.
are on their way. See how they shine. Lord, if you need a friend, I'm sailing right me like a breeze over troubled water. I will ease your mind like a breeze over troubled water. I will ease your mind like a breeze over troubled water. There's not a broken vessel that God can't mend. The thief was down to his last breath, hanging there again.
Yes. Welcome back to the Rebel. Yes. And we have with us Reverend Garnet Roper. Reverend Roper, how are you?
I'm well, thanks.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. Have you been, I know you're out of the country, but have you been keeping in touch with what is happening in Jamaica on the political scene?
Yeah.
So you know that there was a recent poll that showed that the PNP...
That what?
A poll that showed that the PNP was 5 points ahead of the JLP.
I'm not hearing you well enough.
You're not hearing me?
Well, that showed that the PNP was ahead.
Yes. Are you aware of that? Are you aware of that poll?
Uh-huh.
Huh?
It actually we had a poll that showed that the PNP was ahead.
Yes, I'm saying that if you're aware of that Dan Anderson poll.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you make of it?
No, I think you have to accurate reading. The PNP has an new leader and he's a very credible figure. And the GLP has made some missteps, including its taxation package and its budget. You know, without it is not flattering in the head.
Yes.
They made some political first day mistakes, you know? You fight make those mistakes.
And you're aware of the
what?
You're aware of their salary increases. They gave themselves some hefty salary increases.
Yeah, it's first of all, a lot of people who haven't got their increase, and that is a new thing, you know? Was to be wrestling with the figures so long because wrestling the board, they agreed to settle, not that clerical errors.
I see. So, based on what you are looking at, do you see that it is the country?
What?
Do you see that?
What I'm seeing? What?
No, if you see where the country might be changing, we might have a change of government when the next elections are called.
Well, I think the GLP did itself a lot of favors in how it handled this budget, this $1 billion budget. Secondly, the tax package itself. And then thirdly, the sections of the civil service that don't know what their salary is, though they have a figure what match what they have received. Yeah, so they are going to have political fallout. So the poll is quite credible.
But there are still some signs of there are still some signs of discontent in the PNP.
There's some signs of what?
Discontent.
Yeah, there's discontent.
Yes.
In the camp. You know, so you're feeling of a licking of shot, you know. The people that suffering. And prosperity, they don't feel like they make it prosper because they die. And then, yeah, that's fucking thing.
I'm not hearing you clearly.
What?
I'm not hearing you clearly. Yes, repeat what you said.
What I'm saying is that
yes,
people, the prosperity, people didn't feel the package.
Yes.
They want them enough, you know?
Yes. But don't you think that the PNP has to be unified for
what?
Don't you think the PNP has to be?
Don't I think that because what?
That the PNP must be unified in order for it to win.
Yeah, well, it's hard, I know. Talking is one thing, governing is another. When the reality hits you, you know, it is what World Nigeria is.
Yes, I see. So generally speaking, what do you see? How do you see the country?
Generally what?
Generally speaking, how you see the country right now?
Oh, I think the poll is accurate in that it's the temperature and told us.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, don't want to believe the poll. But the poll is accurate.
Yes. And we still have the crime problem with us.
What?
I said we are still having the crime problem with us.
Yeah, but we haven't done anything to solve that problem, you know?
Yes.
That wasn't could be done in one budget. But some people believe that they were magicians and they could just step up it and it will be all right. You know? But it's a difficult country, you know?
Yeah.
You don't think that is at the expense of the other sectors.
Yes.
So those who are discontented one day, the next day they are not discontented, but somebody else is.
Okay. And what do you make of the American request to the Jamaican government to
what do I make of what?
What do you make of the American government's request to the Jamaican government for the same sex to allow the diplomat to take his
U.S. can't get same sex settled in the U.S. and we'll get it in Jamaica. We have far deeper convictions around those things.
Yes.
So I don't know what Biden will be doing. But I'm not aware that they have done anything directly to the Jamaican government.
No, apart from yeah.
Apart from what?
No, apart from I think they have indicated that diplomats, our diplomats, whose 5-year visas, when they are expired, they are not going to renew them.
Well, everybody who believes that they go to Jamaica.
Everybody have to do what? What did you say?
Everybody believes that we would just fall in line to know Jamaica. Doesn't know Jamaica.
Okay. But, I mean, the Americans must know that that is illegal in Jamaica. So why would they want us to breach our laws?
Yeah. They're trying to secure a weak fence, you know?
Yes.
But we don't realize our internal pressures.
Yeah,
no generous aid package can purchase loyalty on the homosexual issue.
Yes, yes. Okay.
I'm okay.
To be continued. Thanks for contributing to the program. And you continue to.
I'm not hearing this, man.
No, I'm saying thanks for your contribution and continue to take good care of yourself.
Blessing.
And continue to take good care of yourself. All right.
It was my pleasure entirely.
Okay. All right, Reverend Roper. It was Reverend Garnet Roper. You know, he has not been doing too well in recent times. And I hope that he gets well soon. Yes. This is trying to get to counselors over in Portland, but I don't know, we're having some telephone issues, difficult to get in touch with them. Yes. I don't know what is happening, why I'm not. Problems with the telephone lines. Yes. But in the meantime, I saw where the comrades in East Rural, St. Andrew, they elected a candidate yesterday who will contest the next election. And I also understand that over in St. Elizabeth, southwestern St. Elizabeth, that they have chosen another Miranda Wellington. 2 candidates were on that list there, Mr. Matthew Parchment and Miss Miranda Wellington. Well, I understand that they have agreed, and that Miss Wellington is the person who is going to be the flag bearer for the PNP in the next elections, right? As you know, that Attorney Jess was selected for Northwest, that's a couple of weeks ago, right? There is still, we're still waiting to see what is going to happen over in Westmoreland. Yes, you know that the 3 councillors down there, 3 councillors down there decided that they are not going to continue and with the candidate who has been selected, it's Mr. Ian Ailes. So we are waiting to see what is going to happen with that situation. And well, the PNP continue to
call from +1
make, but let us take a break, and we'll be back shortly. Let's take a break.
calling. I know you will let me when I'm falling. With all the obstacles that's in my way, you move them all away. Lord, I'm ready for you calling. I know you will let me when I'm falling. With all the obstacles that's in my way, you move them all away. Your grace is all that carries me. Through the dark you shine your light so I could see. Even when I was down on my knees, you set me free. Lord, you've been my shield from my enemies. In your loving home, that's where I got to be. To stay within your grace for the rest of my day. Lord, I'm ready for you calling. I know you will let me when I'm falling. With all the obstacles that's in my way, you move them all away. Lord, I'm ready for you calling. I know you will let me when I'm falling. With all the obstacles that's in my way, oh gosh, you move them all away. Lord, I turn to you when I'm in need. Your love is just like the air I breathe. Heavenly Father, you're truly a friend indeed. There is so much that I got to say. I could go on about you every day. Your name I will always praise for the rest of my days. Rest of my days. Rest of my days. Heavenly Father, yeah. Lord, I'm ready for you calling. I know you will let me when I'm falling. With all the obstacles that's in my way, you move them all away. Lord, I'm ready for you calling. I know you will let me when I'm falling. With all the obstacles that's in my way, you move them all away. Your grace is all that carries me. Through the dark you shine your light so I could see. Even when I was down on my knees, you set me free. Lord, you've been my shield from my enemies. In your loving home, that's where I got to be. To stay within your grace for the rest of my day. Lord, I'm ready for you calling. I know you will let me when I'm falling. With all the obstacles that's in my way, you move them all away. Lord, I'm ready for you calling. I know you will let me when I'm falling. With all the obstacles that's in my way, you move them all away. I've had many tears and sorrows, questions for tomorrow. There's been time I didn't know right from wrong, but in every situation, God gave me consolation that my trials come to make me strong. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God. Through it all, I've learned to depend upon His words. I've been to lots of places, seen so many faces. There were times I felt so all alone, but in my lonely hours, those special hours, Jesus let me know that I am His own. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God. Through it all, I've learned to depend words. I thank God for the mountains, thank Him for the valleys, thank Him for the storms He brought me through. 'Cause if I didn't have problems, I wouldn't know that God could solve them. I wouldn't know what faith in God could do. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God. Through it all, I've learned to depend upon His word. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff that comfort me. Though the wicked will come upon me to eat up my flesh, they will stumble and fall. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to put my trust in God. Through it all, I've learned to depend upon His word. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to put my trust in God. Through it all, I've learned to depend upon His word. Trust in Jesus, learn to trust in God. Through it all, Lord have mercy. What is to be will be. Come me just a come me just a come, and me no want no botheration. Come me just a come me just a come, and me no want no botheration. Come me just a come, me said that come me just a come. No want no botheration. Come me just a come me just a come, and me no want no botheration. Just to hear Jordan roll, roll Jordan roll, roll Jordan roll. I want to go to heaven when I die, just to hear River Jordan roll. My soul in the bosom of Abraham. Rock my soul in the bosom of Abraham. Rock my soul in the bosom of Abraham. Oh, rock my soul.
soul in the bosom of Abraham. Rock my soul in the bosom of Abraham. Oh, rock my soul. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. One bright morning, when this life is over, I fly away home to our home on God's celestial shore. I fly away home, fly away home to glory. Fly away home. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I fly away home. Fly away home to glory. Fly away home. When I die, glory, hallelujah, by and by, I fly away home. Fly away home. I will fly, fly, yeah, fly away home. I will fly, I will fly away home. God in the day is still God in the night. Life is easy when you're on top of the mountain. You've got peace of mind like you never know. Yeah, but things change when you're down in the valley. Don't lose faith, or you're never alone. For the God of the mountain time. mountain, but talk to me easy when life at its best. But it's down in the valley of trials and temptation. That's when your faith is really put to the test. Lord of mercy, for the God on the mountain is still God in the valley. When things go wrong, He'll make them right. Part of the good times is still God in the bad times. God in the day is still God in the night. God in the day, yeah, it's God in the night. Lord of mercy, when things goes wrong, He make them right. Yeah, oh bye, Lord of mercy. God in the day, God in the night. All I've got now is all to Jesus. I surrender all to Him. I freely give. I will ever love and trust Him in His presence daily. I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Savior. I surrender all to Jesus. I surrender. Humbly at His feet I bow. Worldly pleasures all forsaken. Take me, Jesus, take me now. I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Savior.
Good day. Once more, there are some of us, a minority, mark you, exulting and even preening over the rankings just released about secondary schools based on their performance at CSEC. I must say congratulations to all the 27 schools making the league list. What are we to make of the unranked? Are they and those within them no good? And what are we to make of this system that through PEP and before it, GSAT and the Common Entrance, that system that sets the foundation for apartheid in Jamaica's education system? A special guest for the Frankly Speaking podcast today, Professor Disraeli Hutton, one of the foremost education thinkers in Jamaica, can speak to this far better than can I. Then Winnie Anderson Brown says, cut the foolishness about girls outperforming boys in PEP. Desmond Richards is as engaging as ever. Please share this, the 81st Frankly Speaking Jamaica podcast episode. And please subscribe if you haven't yet done so. On a related topic to which I shall speak, I am more than conflicted over what has taken place and what should happen to the Haitians fleeing the awful violence in that first Black Republic, and who the government of Jamaica says are to be returned to Haiti. Here first, though, is UW Professor Disraeli Hutton.
The recent publication of Educate Jamaica of the rankings of secondary schools based on CSEC performance continues to cause trepidation among many Jamaicans. Of the 27 schools listed, 14 or 50% are located in the parishes of Kingston and St. Andrew, while the others are located in 8 other parishes. 4 parishes, including Portland, St. Thomas, St. Mary, and Hanover, did not figure in the rankings, and none of the upgraded secondary schools made the list. In fact, there are 211 secondary schools, and only 13% of these schools met the established ranking criteria. There are many factors at work that could explain this unacceptable performance, but what cannot be questioned is the fact that the education system needs a massive overhaul. The Jamaica Transformation Education Commission published its own rankings in 2021, which took into consideration the performance of both students and schools. The value-added approach has changed the picture somewhat and provided a more composite assessment of schools' performance. But in order to account for upgraded secondary school, rankings were provided for traditional and non-traditional schools. Without this division, the traditional schools would remain on top. The fact is that school rankings are based on the performance of students or the performance of students and schools when the value-added approach is considered. So we must solve the performance problem, which starts at the early childhood level. The National Council on Education produced the National Education Sector Plan in 2021, which recommended the consolidation of early childhood sector as the basis for the transformation of the education system. It is 185 years since emancipation when the first real attempt at education transformation was made. Our Achilles heel is the early childhood sector, and in particular, basic school. With effective leadership, quality teachers and teaching, a responsive learning environment, and strong national support, the difference among schools would be negligible when the ranking is done. So the gap between the top school and those at the bottom would not be significant. The state, along with the Jamaican people, must move with haste and determination to solve the long-standing and dire problem of the education system.
That's Professor Disraeli Hutton. And now, Desmond Richards.
The gun slaying of Councillor Ainsley Parkins last week is the 9th politician to be shot since the 1970s, 7 of whom were killed. Now, Councillor Parkins' death is among over 40,000 murders committed in Jamaica since the 1970s. And we must bear in mind that over the last 20 years, we have been killing over 1,000 Jamaicans every year. Every year in Jamaica, we have been slaughtering people. Now, it is clear that measures being used to address the crime problem, which is the #1 problem in Jamaica today, are not working. You viewers and listeners would have seen that over the weekend, last weekend, the Supreme Court, the appeal court, struck down the government appeal against a verdict that was handed down in favor of 5 men who were illegally detained. Their constitutional rights were breached under the state of emergency. Now, there are hundreds of cases, there are possibility that hundreds of cases can be filed or will be filed in the court by persons who were detained under the state of emergency, which is being used as a crime fighting tool by the government, and it is not working out. Now, we are in a very, very precarious situation. All over the country, the crime problem is on us. I would argue that in order to become a society of peace with a moderate low crime, we must first create an environment of economic, social, and political justice for all. Now, unfortunately, the Jamaica in which we are living, we don't have those conditions right now. No. Too many people, too many Jamaicans are struggling to find bread. Too many Jamaicans are struggling to find housing. Too many Jamaicans are struggling to find jobs, while a handful, a small portion of the country are enjoying the wealth. Yes, we have had economic growth, and we are having economic growth. What we need is economic development so that we can address the social, economic, and political issues facing the people. Until then, the suppressive moves, the suppressive measures being used to fight the crime problem have been used already in the past, and they have not worked, and they will not work today.
That's Desmond Richards, journalist and founder of Rebel Radio Jamaica. Now to Winnie Anderson Brown.
When the PEP results were released, there was a lot of talk bemoaning the fact that the girls outperformed the boys. And this is one time when I am tempted to make that sound. Duh! Boys mature later than girls. There's nothing wrong with the boys. What is wrong is the system that penalizes the boys and put the girls at an advantage. Nothing is wrong with the boys. The boys adjust to naturally who they are and how they are. So the system needs to cater to them. So it is not surprising that later on, the men are fewer than the women who graduate from university. And the irony of the whole situation is that the men help the women to outperform them at that level because a number of men are unwise enough to send women to university. They send their partners. I'm not talking about parents sending their children. You should send your children to university, not your partners. Now, I know that many people will disagree with me, but that's okay. Men should make sure that they take good care of themselves. I'm not encouraging laziness among men. Indolence is not acceptable. Being less than you can be is not acceptable either. But stop making it seem as if there's something wrong with the men. Nothing is wrong with them. It's a system that needs to cater to men as they are, not what you would like them to be. Men are just not women. Boys are just not girls. It seems obvious, but this constant talk about women outperforming men, it's time to stop it and allow the system to cater to our differences.
That's Winnie Anderson Brown, educator and health facilitator. To end game. I have regard for international laws and conventions, but I do not accept and do not believe that the best we could have done for the 37 Haitians who landed here 2 weeks ago was to take the adults among them to court, find them, and then decide to deport them. Remember now, the 37 of them, 29 adults and 8 children, were piled into a 12-foot boat and had the compassion of Jamaicans when they landed hungry, dehydrated, and confused at Boston Beach, Portland on July 10. They had set off 3 days earlier for the United States, where so many Jamaicans have found refuge. It pains me to consider the speeches being made simultaneously by our own government operatives and the mandate to CARICOM to seek to rescue Haiti that continues to sink into a morass of poverty, disorder, and violence. I know Jamaica can legally send them back. I know we can't appear to open the floodgates for others to come this way, even if it's on their way to the US. But I don't believe for a second that we should have taken them to court for legal entry, fine them a $7,000 apiece, and be sending them back home. Even as parts of downtown Kingston look more and more like the Port-au-Prince I saw 30 years ago, I feel ashamed at what we are doing to these Black Caribbean brothers and sisters. And I'm thankful that some Jamaicans have been standing by the Haitians and doing the best for them while they are detained at Robbins Bay in St. Mary. Thanks again for joining for yet another Frankly Speaking Jamaica podcast. This is the 81st episode. Please share this podcast and subscribe if you have not yet done so. Special thanks to our regular commentators Desmond Richards and Winnie Anderson Brown, and also to guest presenter today, Professor Disraeli Hutton. I'm Franklin McKnight. Until then.
And I want to thank all my listeners and viewers today. Yes, we have come to the end of today's program. But stay safe and healthy, and we'll be back with you on Wednesday. Until then, take care. I'm Desmond Richards, and this is Rebel Radio.
Consulting Services Limited.